Hi everyone, this is Jim from Image Motion, and I've been working on a AI character video generator for some time. And this is maybe like the seventh or eighth time I've tried to do this. And I don't know why, but I make a change right before the video and it seems to crash. I think now I finally have a working copy. Let's get into it. So this is the interface. It's made in Grotto and Python. If there's any developers or coders that work in building these things, I'd love to talk to you. I'm having some difficulty getting it like hosted somewhere so other people can use it. Right now, it's just running locally. So you just need two settings. You need API keys for OpenAI and foul.ai API key. The way it works is I take two characters and I'm actually building out a collectible card collection for BombGirlsClub. So I took 54 of those characters and embellished them and made them full-size characters. And now I'm using this to make them either battle, become friends, or have a love connection, right? So if we just drag some in here, I have to be sort of careful because I used Cling 2.0 and it seems to be on the conservative side, and these are a little bit on the risque side of things. So let's see. Let's pick. Oh, which one? Let's take Flower Girl and Tattoo Girl, and then we will merge the images together, and that just simply puts them side by side. And I'm going to blend the background so there's no line in the middle. Sometimes when I do the animations, it doesn't cross that middle barrier, kind of messes it up. Next we have personas. So I'm going to click here and I can randomize personas. There's I think 10 or 15 to choose from on either side, so you can choose it manually or you can randomize it. As you can see up here, it smoothed out the background between the two. So I'm going to hit randomize, see what it comes up with. Kind and resilient. And then using those two personas, I'm going to make a scene vision, which analyzes the two characters along with their personas and then spits out the primary scene vision for the thing. So they become friends. The great thing is, if you don't like any of this, you can completely just edit it and go with your own prompt, your own vision to see how they work out. There's also an option to create another background that's based on what the result was, battle, friends, or love, and it will replace the background with a suitable one. We're going to jump into this with Cling, and we're going to do 5-second duration and just 2 chains, just so I can show you how it works. There are some advanced settings. I wouldn't change these, though. That's pretty good. Character consistency and character detail emphasis. Of course, you can figure out what they do. If you have sort of a character that's complex, you want to increase it, and it also makes the resolution a little bit better. That's why I say don't mess with it. Okay, so we'll generate the scene, and I'll show you what's going on in the background. So there's 2 chains, and the way I have it coded is that it will generate a story based on those 2 chains. So the story is completed. So you can see part 1 and part 2, and then it'll use that story throughout the generation of the chain videos. So if you have 5 or 10 chain videos, it'll spell out the entire storyline, and then as it creates each chain, it will continue along to match the storyline with the frame it chooses. So the way that works in auto mode is the video will record. It's usually around 120 to 150 frames. It will look at the last 30 frames of that video, and using sort of a rating system, it will pick the best frame to use as the input for the next video. And then again, it will update the prompt and it will continue along the chain until it finishes. And then once it's finished, it will stitch them all together and give you a final video. Cling videos usually take around 6 to 7 minutes to produce, so I'm crossing my fingers to hope that it works. We're doing it manually this time. So by doing it manually, what will happen is the video chain will appear here, and then underneath the video chain will be where you can select the frame that you want to use for the next video, and also the prompt that you want to use for the next video. So let me just pause it here because it does take a little bit of time. And all right, so we're back, and you can see that the video processed, and here's the clip, and we can actually watch the clip and see how they become friends. Hey, how you doing? Hey, nice to meet you. Yeah. All right, we'll go back, and now you can go down here and you can look at all the frames that you can choose from, and it'll give you what the frame is down here. If it's the last frame, it will say last frame. So if I click this, that looks like the last frame. So the first frame is the last frame. And then it continues on through to the end, right? So if you wanted to pick it up in the middle, you could. You want to start at the end, that's fine. And then you can change the prompt if you want. So I take out part 2. As the sun begins to set, invites the edgy girl to join her in building an elaborate sandcastle. All right, I'm interested to see if that even happens. It's kind of a complex video right there, but anyway, so we chose that, and we're going to continue to the next one. So by clicking this, we should see this going on here. Great. Let me check my code. Ooh, where are we? Yeah, so it looks like it is using Kling in 5 seconds, and it is sending all of that to Kling. Good. I don't know what all this stuff is, but I will figure it out. Let me back up a little bit. Let me show you. So right here, after the first video was created, it went through and looked at all these frames, and here's the last frame, and it gave it a rating. And it says the best frame with a score of 0.4020, wherever that is, right here, frame 9. So you can choose frame 9, and that's like the best quality frame, or you can just choose whatever you want. I usually just choose whatever I want. The reason why I'm even doing this is because sometimes when there's action in a video, it's very blurry and not clear, and we want to kind of eliminate those types of frames and just show you frames that are clear, and then you can start from that point. And again, they go from the first frame is the last, and then I don't know why you would want to start from the beginning, but it progresses all the way to here and the end, right? Maybe that was the end. I don't know. Tough to see. I've been wrestling with this. I've been trying to tell it to give me frame numbers and stuff, but it's just, you know, it's a battle of love, really. But anyway, so it's going to take another 7 minutes to process this video, and then the video will end up here. Every video chain shows up here, and you can view them all in order. I'm not sure why that disappeared, but again, it's just another bug. So let me pause it again, and I will be back after. Okay, we're back. So I think we have a successful video presentation or whatever. So here are the chains. So this is the first one for 5 seconds, and here's the second one for 5 seconds. And then here's the final video. So let's see what the final video looks like. Well, you know, it's not perfect. but it is quite interesting how they started to build a sandcastle with each other. And I'm sure with more complex or more well-formed prompts, it would probably go better. So, for example, like the second prompt shouldn't be them building a sandcastle. Maybe you change the second prompt to they go for a walk on the beach or something. Whatever, sky's the limit. But it's really cool that I was able to code this myself without any real prior knowledge of how to code anything outside of like websites. But that was like a while ago. Let me show you some of the other results that I had gotten. So this one was a battle, and you can see the two video chains, and then this is how this one turned out. Not bad. This one was love again. Now this one completely fell apart at the end. They kind of merged into some sort of weird, well, she merged into like some sort of bird or something. Again, you got to watch the prompts. You got to make sure that it doesn't do something crazy like that. And then this is the last one. This is another battle. And this is how this one turned out. So, the animation is not that clear, but you can see it with some fine tuning, and better prompting, and maybe different models. I think there's something to be said with like this could definitely be something to generate longer videos. And of course, you don't have to use this type of character. There are some other things that we can do. We could create another tab and have like one single image and then drive that image through this type of generator, so you can actually see the progression of that character, through a scene. We're only using two models here, Kling and Wan Pro. You can add other models, which include, camera direction and stuff. So this is sort of just like the proof of concept, and it's something that I built to fill a need. So I hope you enjoyed the quick tutorial, and if you are interested in helping me build this out, or you want to learn more about it, just send me a DM. All right, thank you.